How's it going on Wednesday, April 5th, 2023? I did a video on Hall of Fame baseball players, those in the Hall of Fame, for their career stats. Who has the fewest strikeouts? Obviously, some players play longer, more games, more at bats. But of all those 168 players, position players in the Baseball Hall of Fame, who has the fewest strikeouts when they came to the plate for their career? Found out that Joe Sewell had 114 career strikeouts and over 7,000 at-bats. Incredible. I know other players like Pete Rose had 15,000 at-bats. Ty Cobb had 11,000. Ripken, 10,000 at-bats. But if you go 7,000 at-bats and only strike out 114 times, incredible. A record. So he has the fewest, and I went through the first 32 in my last video. So I'm on number 33. I'm just going to list the player and how many strikeouts they had for their career. And as I go down the list, 168, you'll see that the numbers increase with the strikeouts. So Joe Sewell started at 114. Right now we're at 33. Henny Manous, 345. And I'll just go through the list, okay? Red Shaniski, 346. Nap Lajoie, 347. Ray Chalk, 358. Jim O'Rourke, 362. Billy Hamilton, 362. Joe DiMaggio, 369. Charlie Gehringer, 372. Paul Wainer, 376. Bid McPhee, 377. Ross Youngs, 390. Tris Speaker, 393. Phil Rizzuto, 398. Roger Brejahan, 403. Yogi Berra, 414. He's the first player after 1950 on the list. Did you notice that the previous 47 players were all old school before 1950? I call that the old school era. So Yogi Berra breaks the string because all the other guys that I've listed, first video and the second video, were old school baseball players before 1950. Yogi Berra played in the 50s, right? Next, Ken Kelly, 418. Billy Herman, 428. Joe Kelly, 430. And then Tony Gwynn. He's the second player past the 1950 era, which is the new school baseball era, in my opinion, 434. So Yogi Berra, Tony Gwynn, among the first 51. The only two new school baseball players with the fewest strikeouts. How about that? Keep going. Ed Delante, 439. Bill Terry, 449. Roger Connor, 455. Eddie Collins, 467. Dave Bancroft, 467. Chick Haffey, 477. Roy Campanella, 501. Fred Clark, 511. Earl Averill, 518. Chuck Klein, 521. Johnny Mize, 524. Jake Beckley, 526. Joe Tinker, 526. Luke Appling, 528. Ennis Slaughter, 538. Harry Heilman, 550. Joe Medwick, 551. Bobby Wallace, 560. Travis Jackson, 565. Elmer Flick, 567. Richie Ashburn, new school, 571. All the other guys. In the first, I'm on number 72 right now. Yogi Berra, Tony Gwynn, and Richie Ashburn, the only players with the fewest strikeouts post 1950 era. Every other ball player was in the old school era, from the 1870s to the 1949, roughly. How about that? So the old schoolers did not strike out as much. Counting down, Zach Wheat, 572, Sam Crawford, 580, Harry Hooper, 582, Minnie Minosa, 584, Goose Goslin, 585, Ozzie Smith, 589, Jim Botany, 591, Bobby Dorr, 608, Jesse Burkett, 613, George Davis, 613, Tony Oliva, 645, Rogers Hornsby, 679, Ty Cobb, 680. Excuse me, sneezing. George Kelly, 694. Max Carey, 694. Ted Simmons, 694. All right, I got George Kelly, 694. Ted Simmons, 694. And then you get Max Carey, 695. Stan Musial, 696. Gabby Hartnett, 697. Joe Cronin, 700. Joe Gordon, 702. Bill Mazeroski, 706. Ted Williams, 709. How about that? Hornsby has 679. Cobb, 680. And Ted Williams, 709. Very close. In their career, fewest strikeouts. Hack Wilson, 713. Hannes Wagner, 735. Al Simmons, 737. Louis Aparicio, 742. Wade Boggs, 745. Ralph Kiner, 749. Kiki Kyler, 752. Rabbit Marinville, 756. And Lou Gehrig, 790. Barry Larkin, 817. Hank Greenberg, 844. Tony Lazario, 864. Alan Trammell, 874. Pee Wee Reese, 890. Mel Ott, 896. George Brett, 908. Kirby Puckett, 965. Tim Raines, 966. Vlad Guerrero, 985. Brooks Robinson, 990. Gary Carter, 997. I'm going to stop there for this video. So 1 through, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We're at 115. Out of 115 baseball players in the Hall of Fame with the fewest strikeouts, I'm going to stop at Gary Carter at 997. The rest of the players from 116 through 168 will have over 1,000 strikeouts for their career. And who's the last guy on the list with the most strikeouts? Reggie Jackson, 2,597. So you can see that Joe Sewell, 114 for his career. And Reggie Jackson, 2,597. Yikes. And the rest of these guys that I'll cover in the next video have over 1,000 strikeouts. So this Joe Sewell character, incredible. All right, that does it for this video. Baseball players, Hall of Famers with the fewest strikeouts. The top 168. And how many strikeouts they had for their career. I thought it's an interesting stat. Talk to you later. I'm out.